Hi everyone, today I have a topic on working women and independent women for all of you to listen to. I have my wonderful guest joining us from Slovenia. Her name is Klavdija Novak. Hi Klavdija. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. For all of those who don't know yet, Klavdija is a coach, trainer, as well as director, moderator, and owner at Affenbach. Klavdija, would you please tell the audience a little bit more about yourself? How did you start coaching?
In my previous life, I was a corporate lawyer and later on in managerial roles in corporations. Always enjoyed learning new skills and I admired business trainers. So eventually I decided to become one. And while I was growing as a trainer, I came up um, and got into contact with coaching often and realized that coaching principles for me are the best way compared to mentoring, training, consultancy, therapy. So the best way to get clients from where they are to where they want to be. So as they say, where focus goes, energy flows. After years of practicing and learning the skills, I can say today that I'm a coach. I earn a living with it. It's my profession and I immensely enjoy it.
Wow, that's great. So, about our topic today, do you personally think that it is important for women to work?
Yes, I believe work is really important for us, regardless of gender. Work gives us so much, and I'm not only talking about work that we go to and we get paid. I'm talking about caregiving as well. You know, taking care of our family, kids, the elderly, the persons who cannot help themselves. Work is really part of our identity. It gives us a sense of fulfilling our purpose. And of course, it gives us financial freedom.
What would you say are the top upsides to women being independent or interdependent? To women personally.
Well, independence is freedom for me. Unfortunately, not in every society today, women can choose work. What I sense in our society, let's make it simple, in the European societies, is the disbalance of burden that women take on in work. What I see is so many women who work long hours at work and at home, and they don't take the time, the opportunity to nourish themselves. Now, to go back to your question, yes, independence means that I have choices for me, that I have options. And having option is freedom, not only at work, in any area of life.
Yes, that's true. And what do you think that women can bring to the workspace that is unique?
Women's uniqueness. I wouldn't stay with a gender differentiation. However, I would point out the feminine principle, which is giving space, nourishing, using intuition, having empathy, seeing the broad picture. I see that in the corporate world and in many others, the masculine principle is intensely present. So if we combine both, because both are part of the same unity, the wholeness, then we're a twin. Otherwise, we lose.
Yes. For those women that are finding it difficult to manage balancing work and personal life, what are the top 5 pieces of advice that you would like to give to them so that they can find it much more manageable and easier to deal with?
Yeah, this was a big challenge for me. And sometimes it still is. Being out of balance means illness in the long run. And why I'm saying this is because I meet so many women who don't take this imbalance seriously. We all know that being in stress continuously is detrimental to our bodies, but that's not all. When we are in stress, we cannot be connected to ourselves and we cannot be who we are when we're at our best. So everyone is losing. Our family, our friends, colleagues, customers, everyone around us. And that's why my 5 things would be: first, take it seriously, this imbalance, do something about it. And second, not everything we do is important, although we think it is. What helps me is I say to myself, okay, what if I or any of my family members would get seriously sick right now? What would still be important for me? And that brings it into perspective. Now, the third thing would be prioritize when you know what the important things are, and do that according to your values. The next thing would be do one thing at a time. And if you have not finished in the day and things are still left, push them to another day or rethink if they're really important. And the last thing is take time for yourself twice a day. That means at the beginning and at the end of the day. Have a routine that you really like and it supports you in the morning before your day starts, and even in the evening before you fall asleep. So you see, for me, it's really about what is important in life and that we don't have to do everything. Because what we have in common is that we have this program running that women have to do it all. And there are numerous obligations that we have, but we don't.
Thank you for sharing this with us. And what would you say are the biggest misconceptions about working women?
I would say that all these misconceptions lay in our heads and are a relic of how we were brought up. To give our best effort all the time and to please everyone. So we apply the masculine principle because we think it's a recipe for being successful. And in reality, we give up the uniqueness that we could bring to the environment as being women. My dear colleague once said, women should not compete with men because they don't have what the men have downstairs. They should be women and they should bring their feminine traits with them.
What do you wish that more women knew before starting their careers, businesses, jobs, or organizations? For example, for young teenagers or women that are transitioning from being a stay-at-home mom to starting their careers, or those leaving an abusive relationship and starting to make their own way to financial independence.
There is no universal advice that I would like to give, but I know for a fact that we all have everything. All resources are within us to be able to set goals and to achieve them. And whatever is holding us back, we can get help for that. Because today, there are so many options, numerous options that we have available to get support. Either reading something or taking coaching, therapy, or just being in a support group with friends, anything. There are so many things.
And is there any story that you could tell us about your life that would be a testimony to the fact that it is a very empowering thing for women to be able to work?
I come from a family where women have been working throughout their lives, and it was a very important thing. My grandmother, for example, she was born at the beginning of the century, and she learned for a dressmaker. And she did that throughout her life, apart from when she was raising kids. And her husband died at a very early stage when he was 40. She was left with 2 kids and she had to support them by herself. And my mom was 16 at the time. So she took on another job at a factory, at the manufacturing line, setting up bottles with corks. And she did it so that my mom could get an education and that they could, I think they were just building a house, that they could finish it. And also my mom, she was a working mom for her entire life. I was raised by her. And even today, when she's 88, she's still working. She's taking care of my 3 kids, and I'm really grateful for that. And on the other hand, I am encouraging it and supporting it because I believe that this is what keeps her going and keeps her young.
Thank you so much, Klavdija, for sharing this information with us today.
Thank you, Amy. I'm so glad that you invited me. Very thankful.
To all of those watching, I hope that you found this interesting and insightful. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and see you in the next video.